Leave it out there.
Worry about that jab.
Good.
All right, back to back.
Yup, leave it out there like that. Yup. To the stomach, to the stomach.
Ali. You see him?
There you go.
Yeah, put your straight ones together.
Keep it out there.
Switch it up while you ride. Switch it up while you ride.
Nice recovery, bro.
Keep that stick out there,
Go ahead,
champ.
but don't get him.
There you go.
Come on with your hands up, man. When y'all break. Y'all do clean breaks. Come on with your hands up.
That ain't no move.
Come on,
You got that on the inside. Switch forward.
Beautiful.
Every time you go to the angle, switch forward.
Hook off the jab straight
Move
left.
that jab. You're doing good, breathe.
Hook off that jab. Beautiful. Hook off of it. There you go.
Go switch forward. Every
that's
time
that running shit up.
Guaranteed Tank fights Schofield next. Look, I would be mad initially because it's like, bro, did he have anything to do with them pulling out the Shakur fight? And then I would question the Schofields because it's like, why would you want to pull out of a title fight to go fight for another title when you could just win this title and go to that fight and make it a unification for even more money?
We're gonna dog walk him from one end of that ring to the next.
That's how I think it's gonna look.
He's gonna have to bring all of it until one of them is laid down. We try to break his jaw, his nose, his eye sockets. We not playing with him. We going in there to beat him up.
Floyd Schofield Jr., a.k.a. Kid Austin, just had a golden opportunity for the first time in his career when he became the mandatory challenger for Gervonta Tank Davis's 135-pound WBA lightweight belt. The World Boxing Association officially ordered Davis to face mandatory challenger Floyd Schofield, a move that effectively blocks the boxer from taking any alternate comeback fight for now. In a statement released on May 23rd, the WBA confirmed that both camps have been given a 30-day negotiation window to finalize a lightweight title bout. If no agreement is reached by June 22nd, the sanctioning body could move forward with a purse bid.
World Boxing Association Championships Committee has officially ordered the mandatory lightweight title bout between reigning champion Gervonta Davis and the division's #1 contender Floyd Schofield. The pioneering organization sent formal notification to both camps this Saturday, May 23rd, granting the parties a 30-day negotiation period that will expire on June the 22nd. Under championship rule C-10 title defense periods, champions in all divisions outside of heavyweight are required to defend their titles every 9 months from the date the championship was obtained. In Davis's case, his last appearance came on March 1st, 2025, when he retained the title via majority draw against Drawmont Roach, leaving the mandatory defense significantly overdue. Additionally, WBA rule C-13 bout limitation states that a champion may not compete against any boxer other than the official mandatory challenger within 60 days after the expiration of the mandatory defense period. The WBA will now allow the respective teams the allotted negotiation window to reach an agreement should the parties fail to come to terms, or if either side refuses to negotiate, the organization may proceed with a purse bid in accordance with its internal rules and regulations.
According to the organization, the decision is tied directly to inactivity. WBA rules require champions outside the heavyweight division to defend their belts every 9 months. The WBA also cited another regulation stating that champions cannot accept a non-mandatory fight within 60 days of the mandatory defense deadline. That language appears to shut down any immediate plans for Davis to take a tune-up or alternate comeback bout before addressing Schofield.
So, are they going to make this happen? Is Gervonta really coming out of mini retirement, whatever you want to call it? Is he really going to fight Floyd Schofield? They've been talking trash in the DMs. But the $1 million question, will the fight materialize? The reality is, Gervonta has been fighting who Shakur was supposed to fight. Shakur was supposed to fight Frank when the WBC, I believe, ordered the fight, and Tank ended up getting the Frank Martin fight. Shakur was supposed to fight Floyd Schofield. Floyd Schofield got himself sick, respectfully. So Is he going to be okay messing with Tank? Now, one thing for sure,
Kid Austin is excited about the challenge ahead of him. Fighting one of the best boxers in the world in a world championship clash is any fighter's dream, and Kid Austin is no different. He and his dad have been actively petitioning and pressing the WBA to enforce Floyd's status as the mandatory challenger for Gervonta Tank Davis's title. During a recent interview, the Schofields expressed deep frustration with the politics blocking their path to a Tank Davis fight, noting they have been the WBA mandatory challenger for over a year now. Schofield Sr. criticized the sanctioning body's delays, stating they are prepared to pursue legal action under the Ali Act to bypass promotional roadblocks. Despite the structural gridlock, he revealed that Golden Boy and PBC are actively negotiating. Schofield Jr. further expressed exhaustion over being held up while his peers advanced, stating that Davis is holding up the division. He emphasized that he stays ready in the gym, eager to fulfill his dream and secure a legacy-defining fight.
Oh, oh no, they really in talks right now with Tank for us to fight Tank. We've been his mandatory for a year. Of course, I'm putting a little heat under it because by WBA bylaws, in 9 months after we became that, we were supposed to get a title shot. It's been a year and a half. So it gets to a point like, you know, some people say, well, your son might lose. But my son want to live out his dream. You know, he gave up his childhood. He did all of this to grind to this point. Now the politics of boxing, it said, nah, we're going to go this way, and it's not right. So we're more like standing up for all the boxers that make it to number one, because that's the only way you're going to make boxing exciting. Again, all this politics and picking and choosing and selecting, they might as well keep Zuffa. You know, might as well, I can understand that then, if that's how they're going to. But how do you feel about what's going on?
Man, it's crazy, man. I'm being patient. But like my dad said, it gets to a point where it's like, all right, we've been number one. I mean, this is the only sanctioned body, you know, I'm number one. And I mean, I think I'm number two in the IBF, but I'm right there for that belt. So it's like, out of all my peers, how am I the only one that's being held up from getting a world title that I grew up with? You know, Xander Zayas is already unified. Mason is WBO champion. So it's like, how come I'm being held up by a guy who seems like he doesn't even want to fight? And I think that's the most frustrating part. Because if it's like you don't want to make the good fights happen, it's like someone's like, in a way, get out the way. I mean, you're holding part of the division up. I mean, you're not fighting Shakur, you're not fighting Tank, you're not fighting your mandatory. So nobody knows what he's doing, but, you know, my dad is handling that and, you know, the rest of the team. So, like, y'all know me, I just stay in the gym and I stay ready. So when I get that call, I'll be ready.
This could be an exciting fight considering Floyd Schofield is unbeaten and will fight in his first major fight. He's a promising star and could possibly give Tank tough competition in the ring. Kid Austin's promoter Oscar De La Hoya also confirmed that this fight could happen next. While De La Hoya promised to push for the fight if Schofield and his father truly want it next, he explicitly warned that jumping straight into a Tank fight right away wouldn't be the right decision in his eyes. Instead, De La Hoya believes Schofield needs one more developmental fight first before challenging Davis, who he heard plans to return to the ring later this year.
Hey Oscar, with this PBC and Golden Boy collaboration, I talked to Kid Austin and he was very complimentary of you trying to push towards his WBA and his Tank Davis fight. Is there real motion going with Kid Austin and Tank Davis? If so, could you give us an update?
There will be real talks happening very soon. If Kid Austin wants to go after Tank next, then me as a promoter is what I have to do and get him, right? As a promoter, I still feel that I would give him one more fight and then go after Tank. But if he wants it right away, let's go. Let's go. It wouldn't be the right decision in my eyes, but if the father and the kid want it, then that's what I'll have to push for. I'm not sure exactly what position or what Tank Davis is doing, but I did hear he does want to fight third quarter of this year.
So like July is what they were telling me that they would like? Is
September, October.
Okay.
While his promoter isn't keen on fighting an explosive and experienced boxer like Tank Davis this early in his career, Kid Austin has made up his mind. He has been issuing several threats to Tank Davis before the fight. In one of his recent interviews, he talked about the fight and what it means to become world champion. champion, Floyd explained that because of boxing politics, belts have become mere trophies that don't pay the bills or guarantee a fighter's long-term future. He explicitly stated that he prioritizes fighting Tank Davis because Tank is widely considered the ultimate boogeyman. Schofield emphasized that knocking out an elite, deadly opponent like Davis cements a true legacy far more than winning a world title. He highly praised Tank's patience, dynamite power, and skill set, calling him the most dangerous fighter in the division. Ultimately, Schofield prefers chasing a historic legacy fight against a marquee name over collecting belts.
I think after I had to open my eyes and see the politics of boxing, I won't say it's rigged, but in a sense, it's like almost favoritism to a point. And at the end of the day, growing up, when you see the belts, we're seeing the old generation. We want the belts, the undisputed, all that. That's fine, but those are trophies at the end of the day. Trophies don't pay the bills. I mean, it will leave you legacy. It shows your kids, hey, I earned this, and that. But boxing is a deadly sport. Anything can happen in boxing. What if I have or someone has a fight where they don't make it out the same?
Glad you took it off of you.
Yeah. What are they gonna leave their kids? A belt or a couple mils? So like I want to fight the guy who's that guy, that boogeyman. Because if I fight him, it wouldn't even have to be for a world title. I'd knock him out the way.
That's real legacy.
That's legacy itself. I won't ever probably have to fight for a title again. Of course, I would have to keep stepping up in competition, but I would never have to fight for a title again.
What's up in competition past Gervonta? After you knock Gervonta, or what? Shakur with 11
I only
knockouts?
put Tank at the very top.
Mason with his chin. It ain't nobody.
He has the skill set, the patience, the skills,
the
and the power. I think he's at the top because he's a fighter that could possibly end someone's career. I mean, he literally ended Hector Garcia's career, broke his eyes.
He could end somebody's life in there. Tank got that real dynamite.
So I put him at the very top as far as the competition, and that's no disrespect to all the other great fighters out there. I just think from the eye test, he's the most deadly fighter out there. I mean, I would rather much, if I had a choice, be punched by Devin than, Tank if I had to be punched. So, I mean, like I said, there's no disrespect, but I think
Devin gonna take that. He gonna be heartbroken, man. I don't know why you bring up Devin.
When I get to 47, he can get it too. Anyway, yeah, you're right.
And Devin would turn around and have a video about
allegedly.
Like that.
Allegedly, I would rather be punched by Devin if I had to.
During the interview, Floyd Schofield talked about how this fight could help him achieve his dreams. He also talked about Tank's past opponents and praised them for putting up a great show against the bogeyman of the division. Schofield Jr. has been closely studying Tank's previous performances and will look to exploit his weakness in the ring if they ever fight it out in the ring.
They say you're chasing for the money, brother. You're begging for a fight.
I am. Yes, you gonna make me rich and you're gonna make me a champion. Yeah, I got kids to feed. My dad want the new Bentley. Like, come on.
Everyone's chasing the money.
Everyone's chasing the money at the end of this is how we get paid. This is how I want to see my son. I don't want my son to ever work a job in his life. Mm-hmm. This, of course, is for the money, but at the end of the day, it's also about me getting your belt and having the greatest fights.
Who do you think has had the most success against Tank? Like when you look at his fights, like.
I like that question. We're talking about fighters that he's fought, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to say the most success, clearly is Lamont Roach. There's so many people. Now, I have seen the fight. Like, I watched it. Yeah, come on, brother. I'm trying to give him the breakdown. I watched it yesterday, and I feel like Lamont edged it out by 1 round. And I think the second, of course, would be Isaac Cruz. And not because I feel like he beat him, but he was just... And this is just another fighter who didn't get stopped. It was competitive. So those are the 2 fighters I think really kind of just showed something to Tank. Even Leo Santa Cruz was catching Tank. Tank was leaving with a black eye. We have Pedraza. Pedraza was a good fight. Barrios was beating him, I believe.
But they're saying he beat these guys. He knocked them out. I gotta play that live again.
And that's the point. It's not Tank's fault that these guys slip up at the end of the fight. Barrios was so close. Barrios and Frank Martin was so close.
And sat on the ropes.
And sat on the ropes waiting for Tank to catch them. So that's their fault. But Tank just doing his job. He's a patient man.
So what's going to make you any different?
I ain't going for that, brother. I know your game plan. You gonna try to launch that
Don't
left?
tell, don't, no, 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 don't tell, don't
Right.
tell, right.
While he might be too young to take on someone like Tank, it's impressive to see how mature and confident he is going into this fight. While Schofield is confident about himself, the boxing world isn't so sure he can cause Gervonta Davis any trouble in the ring. James Toney was direct with his prediction when asked about the fight. He predicted an easy knockout for Tank against Schofield. Toney was blunt about the mandated matchup, stating that Floyd Schofield is simply not ready for Gervonta Tank Davis, and emphasized that Tank is at a completely different elite level. Toney criticized Schofield's record, arguing he has only faced house fighters and hasn't fought anyone substantial. He compared the situation to Frank Martin, predicting Schofield might show some competitiveness early on but will ultimately get caught. Toney concluded that while Schofield needs more time, jumping straight into a Tank fight is the wrong move.
I have one matchup that the WBA just ordered yesterday, I believe. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Floyd Schofield. What do you think about that matchup?
That kid ain't ready. He ain't got no training.
Floyd Schofield?
He ain't got no training. He will get knocked out.
He will get knocked out?
He will get steamrolled.
What do you see?
Nothing.
Nothing?
He's a good fighter for the lesser fighters. But when he step up to that level right there, he is something different. He could be like Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. Something similar to Frank Martin, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Frank Martin, he was in there, boxing a little bit, but he got lost in there, right? He was in autopilot. Do you feel like that's what it is, that experience?
What happened?
He got hit with a vicious uppercut, followed by a crazy hook after.
And so you can't tell me Floyd Schofield. I've never seen a kid fight before, but I can tell by his training, because his father was doing no shit about boxing. Talking about me, I know who am I. But anyway, that's not a subject. But he never fought nobody in the echelon like King Davis. Like he did the 10-round fights, not fights. He ain't fought nobody. He's been fighting C-class fighters, being built up the right way. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? But he went in the wrong way by fighting Tank first. Like I said, one before, he needs time to get ready. His time is not now, but if they're gonna put him in there, go ahead and do your thing.
Coach Bredman rates Kid Austin highly, calling him a tough athletic dude who can fight. Bredman believes Schofield is a highly dangerous opponent who possesses a rare, troublesome combination of roughness and high-level athleticism. He compares Schofield's style to Sean Porter, explaining that these non-stop athletic and physical fighters consistently give the absolute best pound-for-pound boxers in the world severe trouble. When you get compared to someone as legendary as Sean Porter, you know you're incredibly talented and ready for the big fights this early in your career.
Yeah, see, when a young guy is inactive like that, it always makes me worry because I don't think he has 20 fights yet, so he's still getting better. So, and I know Tank hasn't fought, but Tank's at a different place in his progression. So I don't know.
Is that a decent, when coming to boxing, you know what I mean? Is that like I don't know, for Tank anyway? Do you think that's people would say, is that a good step up? Is that even a step up fight, or is
No,
that like
that's a
a
real
business
fight.
fight?
That's a real fight. Schofield could beat Tank if Tank's not on his game. Schofield might could beat him if he's not on his.
However, Bredman expresses major concern over Schofield's recent inactivity because Schofield is a young fighter with fewer than 20 bouts. Bredman believes continuous ring time is essential for his development. Despite that worry, Bredman labels a potential matchup with Gervonta Davis as a real fight, stating Schofield could absolutely defeat Tank if Davis isn't completely on his game.
Yeah, see, when a young guy is inactive like that, it always makes me worry because I don't think he has 20 fights yet, so he's still getting better. So, and I know Tank hasn't fought, but Tank's at a different place in his progression. So I don't know.
Is that a decent, when coming to boxing, you know what I mean? Is that like I don't know, for Tank anyway? Do you think that's people would say, is that a good step up? Is that even a step up fight, or is
No,
that like
that's a
a
real
business
fight.
fight?
That's a real fight. Schofield could beat Tank if Tank's not on his game. Schofield might could beat him if he's not on his.
Bernie the Boxer, meanwhile, just ripoed into Floyd Schofield and his dad for chasing Tank Davis. He recalled how the Schofields chased Shakur Stevenson for a fight, only to withdraw from the negotiations at the last minute. Bernie called Kid Austin just that, a kid who had no idea what he's wishing for. He also slammed the dad for talking too much and pushing his son into this fight without the necessary experience.
WBA mandated Gervonta Tank Davis versus Floyd Schofield.
Yeah.
What's your reaction on the fight?
I've been hearing Schofield talk a lot, man, and he's just out of his mind. You know, the kid, I like the kid.
The boxing world's verdict is clear. Floyd Schofield doesn't stand his chance against Tank Davis. He's far too young and with far little experience compared to Tank. Nevertheless, Floyd Schofield is perhaps the best boxer for Tank's comeback right now. But what do you think of this fight? Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments. That's all for today. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.